What's going on, y'all? What it is. So let's go ahead and slide on this topic, and I want to talk about the owners of the turkey leg hut, Nakia Price or Nakia Price. It's one of them. We're going to call her Nakia today. You guys can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. And her husband Lynn Price, or her ex-husband to be, because she filed for divorce finally, and she's ready to get rid of him for sullying her reputation, sullying the business reputation. They haven't paid the employees in weeks. The employees got emails being notified that they were fired. And quite honestly, man, this is just a completely hot mess. Now, if you guys follow me tight, you can remember I did 2 videos about this situation last year. And so I can remember talking about the fact, and I'm going to give you guys a flashback, but Nikia basically filed a restraining order against Lynn because he was terrorizing her, their child, the employees. They were afraid of him. He was stealing money out of the cash register. And I thought that she was going to move forward with the divorce then, but I believe that she wanted to see if he was going to change his ways, and not only how he operates within their marriage on a personal level. I think that she was looking for some change within the business acumen aspect of things, because if we're being totally honest, this woman put Lynn Price in position to be successful. He's a felon. He can't own anything. So basically she put him at the forefront of her business so they can be successful and capitalize and live a comfortable life, and he took advantage of her and the business. Now, y'all know me, I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. When you look at this situation in its totality, Nakia Price did something that a lot of women are not willing to do nowadays, and that's prop a man up for success. Because when you look at the education field, when it comes to black men versus black women are getting their degrees at a much higher rate, which means they're dominating the workforce and the work field, right? And I'm just talking about when it comes to black women versus black men, we understand that there's a huge problem, a bigger problem collectively when people that are melanated can't get certain jobs. But this is not the type of video for today that we're going to talk about those things. But again, their credit score is intact. But anyway, they're getting the houses, they're getting the cars and things of that nature. So you get the gist of where I'm coming from. And so nowadays, most women, not all, they're looking for you to bring much more to the table than they already can provide for themselves. And here you have a humble woman that says, hey, let's do this together. I want to build us up. I want to build an empire together. I don't care about your felonies. I rock with you for who you are. And you have the audacity to take advantage of this woman. But anyway, what I'm going to do right here, guys, is play you all a couple of videos that are flashbacks from previous videos that I did in regards to this situation dealing with these 2 individuals, Nakia and Lynn Price. And then I'm going to follow up with a couple of videos of people reacting to the news that Nakia has finally reached her point and she's going to file for divorce, and the fact that, you know, they haven't paid their employees in weeks, and there was an email sent out firing employees. So sit tight and I'll be back to close the video. Nakia and Lynn are the owners of the turkey leg hut that's based out of Houston, Texas. And as a matter of fact, I can remember earlier this year, there was a lawsuit that was filed against Nakia and Lynn by a food distributor claiming that they owed them $1.3 million. Now, Nakia and Lynn came out and debunked those claims, yada, yada, yada. Now, there was also a change to their dress code, which people that have the same hue as me, they were offended because some felt that the new rules that the turkey leg hut put in place only targeted melanated people. For instance, you couldn't wear do-rags. Women couldn't wear bonnets, no house shoes, right? They didn't want to see any type of cleavage. And so a lot of people within my community were ticked off about that particular situation based off the fact that they felt that it was members like a Daquan and a Dashika that actually patronized your business and got it to where it is today. But now that you got your money right and your business is off the ground, you want to turn up your nose and be all snooty. So that's how some people felt about the situation. Me personally, I had no issues with the rules. I feel that when you go out to an establishment, you should come dressed appropriately and look clean and smell good. That's just my thoughts personally. But anyway, on yesterday, Lynn's wife Nakia decided to take to social media to let all of her pain and frustration out in regards to how her marriage is behind closed doors, right? And so she just posted some things that she's going through. She claims that she's living in hell. Every day is a nightmare. And what do you know? One of my pet peeves that I absolutely just cannot stomach she makes her account private after she comes to the world and say, hey, I need to tell my truth. And then all of a sudden, here you go to her page, it's private. It wasn't private before. But anyway, I want to take the time to read what she had to say about the situation, and then following that, I'm going to read Lynn's response to his wife's accusations. And it says here, I've been quiet for so long and I can no longer hold my silence. This war that I've been fighting behind closed doors, all the while pretending to the world that everything is perfect, is too much to bear. I am living in hell on earth. The accused, and I'm paraphrasing there, you can see what it says, the manipulation, the lies, the deceit, the gaslighting, and narcissism have become unbearable. The world thinks he's a man who stands on business, but y'all are sadly mistaken. The man that me and my children know is cruel, accusive, I'm paraphrasing again, guys, emotionally and mentally and completely void of any emotion. From the time we wake up till the time we close our eyes each night, we are literally in a fight for our peace and sanity. I can admit that I played my part in hindering and hiding his behavior, but today I'm finally choosing me. I'll die behind this truth, and I'll lose everything to finally have peace. I brought light to his life while he came into mine to destroy not only me, but all who love me. I'm finally closing this chapter, but I know the battle is about to commence and I'm ready. I know after I win this war, I'll finally have my peace. There are so many more chapters to this story, but this one is officially closed. I'm going to need all the support I can get, but I also know that God has me with love. Now Lynn responds and says, during this challenging time, please know that I truly care for and love my wife. I regret failing to meet her expectations, but today I promise you to do better, to learn, and to make sure to not let this happen again. You are my partner who deserves to be treated with love and respect, and I failed you. On behalf of my children, I ask members of the media and all patrons of the Turkey Leg Hut to continue to support the business that provides for my family and to continue to respect and consider responsible judgment during this difficult time. We ask you all to lift us up in prayer as we make necessary adjustment to our norms. I love you, and I know I have work to do on my end.
Really? I'm a man with no emotions. I'm a man with no emotion. I'm a man with no emotion. Man, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You better stop it. Stop it. Women and their emotions. Everybody know I ain't got no emotions. Everybody know I ain't got no emotions. I'm built like that. I ain't got no emotions. I ain't gonna lie. But I ain't up on the hustling side. I can tell you that. A lot of men up on the hustling side. You can get emotions, but you can't get hustle. Understand that? I'm up on the emotional side because I know how to hustle. Understand that? You can't make a hustle.
So it says here, in the matter of the marriage of Nakia Price and Lindell L. Price, and in the interest of Dylan Indy Price and Lennox Lindell Price, the children, petitioner's affidavit in support. Nakia Price personally appeared before me and stated under oath, my name is Nakia Price and I'm over the age of 18. I am competent to testify and therefore make this affidavit. This affidavit is based on my personal knowledge and the facts are true and correct. I am the petitioner in the above captioned suit. I am currently in possession of the children that are the subject of this suit. I'm going to skip straight down to the bottom because in the middle is some very personal information, and it says Lindell Price has committed family silence. All right, I'm paraphrasing there, against me within 30 days before the date of this application was filed. The last date was June 6, 2023, when we had a physical confrontation. Lindell Price has a reputation as a person with a quick temper and commits silent acts. Again, I'm paraphrasing there. On June 8, 2023, I was contacted by a detective regarding the incident, and I am of the belief that charges have been filed against him for physical silence. Lindell L. Price has been convicted and in prison under federal charges. I am sincerely fearful of his conduct as he is aware of this divorce and he was not able to be served with the papers for appearance in court on May 30 of 2023 when he threatened the man who was trying to serve him. The silent nature of Lindell Price causes an immediate and urgent problem. I am the owner of a business named the Turkey Leg Hut that is located at 4830 Almada Road. I own the business and operate under an LLC. I also own a state of Texas alcohol liquor license. Due to the criminal background of Lindell L. Price, I am the sole owner of each. My employees are terrified and frightened of Lindell L. Price, and he has threatened them with silence. He comes into the business and goes into the cash registers and withdraws the cash money for his own personal use without regards to consideration for the expenses and debts of the business, which causes irreparable harm. He is not a signature on the bank account for the business, so he threatens my personal assistant with bodily harm to write a check for any amount that he demands, generally in the thousands of dollars. My employees are so frightened that I'm losing employees because of his silent nature. I am fearful for my employees' safety as well as my own. There is a clear and present danger that Lindell L. Price is likely to commit family silence against me or a member of the Turkey Leg Hut employee staff, and Lindell L. Price should for that reason be excluded from the business and not allowed to be within 1,000 feet of the location. Since Lindell L. Price has over the years made it a practice to withdraw cash money from the Turkey Leg Hut business, he has accumulated a considerable wealth outside of the money that he has wastefully spent on miscellaneous women and other wastes. Real property is owned by us in Brazoria County, Texas, in the form of acreage with a large barn. Lindell L. Price advertises on social media that he's the owner of more than 50 cars. I am personally aware that he has at least 20 or more of these cars that are located in the barn in Brazoria County, Texas, and I am fearful that Lindell Price will hide, secrete, and or sell these vehicles against the community, and request that he be specifically ordered not to sell, trade, or give away any vehicle while divorce is pending. On June 15, 2023, Lindell L. Price forcefully took the keys from the vehicle that I drive and left our home. Upon returning, we got into an argument as he refused to return my keys. On today, June 16th, he is refusing to turn over my keys to the vehicle, and I'm frightened that he will inflict bodily injury. I'm paraphrasing again, guys, and my attorney's advice was to leave and catch an Uber to work. I am requesting this restraining order as I feel not only am I inconvenienced without my vehicle for transportation to work, but I feel that I'm in danger of physical abuse as well as danger of continued disruption to my place of business for me and danger to my employees, and that in order to continue to do business in a lawful and orderly manner and to preserve the community property, that this restraint is necessary for my business and personal protection, for which I have no other remedy at law.
Very popular Houston, Texas restaurant, the Turkey Leg Hut, is shaking. Turkey Leg Hut is a restaurant owned by Nakia Holmes and her husband Lindell. Well, it's now her ex-husband, as she fired him from the company and gave him divorce papers today. There's a lot to this story. Let's talk about it. Now, I've never been to the Turkey Leg Hut, but I've heard a lot about it. Now, this couple started this restaurant in 2015. They started it together. Popular black restaurant. I've heard hit or miss about the food. I've heard it's good. I've heard it's salty. But they very popularly went viral for their dress code list. It was a very heavy dress code. It was very anti-black. They were in trouble for that. But ever since then, I've heard other drama. But the drama that's going on now is huge. So right now, they're not paying their people. They have not paid their people allegedly up to 6 weeks. They're firing people from the company that they have not paid. And they say it all goes back to the husband, Lindell. On the Tough podcast on YouTube, they gave a breakdown 2 months ago. Amazing. Explained what's going on. They brought up the paperwork. This man was on camera basically speaking like a sociopath, saying that he has no real emotion. He doesn't care about anything. Women are emotional. Talking to the camera, really erratic. You could tell this guy's definitely ticky boom, narcissist, delusion of grandeur vibes is what he gave me. Well, in the filings that they presented, these being some of the filings right here, the wife said that not only does he abuse the family members, the husband comes in and abuses some of the people that work there. She said that he comes into the restaurant, goes in the cash register, takes out cash, spends it on women, beats them when they ask about it. I mean, just a real terror is what they make this guy out to be. And the lawsuit is extensive. She got a restraining order against him, and this was all months ago. She said that the staff and her are frightened, and they said that he's out of control. He does not care. They're scared for their lives. I want to say allegedly because that's a heavy thing to say about somebody, but this man's in some big trouble. They took him out of his half-owned restaurant today in handcuffs. And that's another thing they brought up in the reporting. His name is not on a lot of stuff. Because of him having prior convictions and just not being able to get certain licenses, mostly everything is in her name. So he really bit the hand that feeded him in this situation. He probably supplied it with some other type of money, but none of his name is on the paperwork. And if you ain't on the paperwork, you get put out. And that's exactly what she's doing to him. But she's saying that she's just because he's mishandling money now. People are saying they're still coming to work. They're falling behind on bills. And this is a time of inflation. Ain't nobody got time for that. Can't nobody afford to be playing with you down to the job not getting paid. And let me tell y'all something right now. These jobs in America, they tell y'all we're family. We work together. And then stuff like this happens. And you see whose rent and light and water gets paid and whose does not. You're not family members to these companies unless your face is on the flyer, unless you're actually in the family. And people are now risking their lives. The day she wouldn't have given me my check, I would have had a new job. I would have been like, pay me my check when I can. I already see this is going up the creek fast without a paddle. I'm getting out of here. The reports on Fox are showing that people are not even really showing up there patronizing it like that. Probably because they have some whole new crazy Keith Lee laid out rules where you got to order because they don't have any staff. And when you don't have any staff, you got to change up a lot of stuff. You know, I don't know who to blame. They're saying that the lady is just as sociopathic as the man, but they're saying that he's the abuser. She's not innocent. He's not innocent, but this is a family business, and it makes me sad. I want to see these people make it. I want to see all black people make it. I'm literally rooting for anybody black, okay? That is me. But in this situation, it's just looking like absolute power corrupts absolutely.
All right, y'all. So this is fresh in from the Houston Chronicle, and it was posted like literally minutes ago. Okay. Turkey Leg Hut accused of firing co-owner, other employees over email and viral social media. Now, all of this, of course, is allegedly. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is because the only issue is not the firing of the employees. Okay. Or the co-owner. Turkey Leg Hut has kind of been in the news like quite frequently between now and 2023, even goes so far back to 2020 actually when I did my research. But most recently they have been in the news for money troubles before, much major money troubles than this that they are heading into right now. It was reported that they owed U.S. Foods $1.3 million in unpaid invoices for shipments of food items, and that is still ongoing. And in fact, there was an article posted that talked about how they are actually not acknowledging that they owe that money, that they are trying to say that they had no idea that they were in the whole $1.3 million. Now, that's one monetary issue. The second issue is this alleged email that went out to the owner or co-owner, which is basically the husband of Turkey Leg Hut, and the employees that are currently working there, just really supposedly outlined some things that should not have been said through an email, for one, and definitely basically shed some light on the so-called co-owner who is the husband. Now, Slim's husband is actually not a co-owner at all. He has some legal issues as far as past felonies that were keeping him from putting his name, of course, on bank documents, etc., etc. So technically he is an employee, not a co-owner, not an investor or any of that. Where it gets interesting is, even though he also was said fired through the alleged email, the former co-owner, the actual former co-owner or co-investor or whatever, his name is actually Steve Rogers, and he is also suing the Turkey Leg Hut for some odd of $600,000 because it was written in the agreement, in his settlement agreement, that he will receive 5 payments departing from the Turkey Leg Hut partnership. He would receive 5 payments totaling $1.5 million. Now, to date, he's only received $930,000 plus $1,000, and so he's still owed a little over $600,000, and so he's suing the Turkey Leg Hut for the remainder of the money owed to him. And where it gets even more interesting, so we've said that they owe U.S. Foods $1.3 million. They owe this former partner a little over $600,000. They are also facing $50,000 in past due rents on their 3 commercial properties, one being the Turkey Leg Hut, the other one being the Daiquiri Hut, the third one being another commercial property that they have that they've been leasing, but they are behind $50,000+ in those leases as well. So in addition to the $1.3 million to U.S. Foods, in addition to the $600,000 due to the former partner, and also the $50,000 behind in rent payments on those commercial leases. And now they have released employees and the former co-owner, who is the husband, through via email. And there are some employees reporting that they themselves have also not received payment for their work and for their time. This is not just looking good at all for the Turkey Leg Hut. And I really hope that either they're under new management or someone is thinking of acquiring them and acquiring those debts and getting them paid and rectified, because it just does not look good. And with the amount of money that they should be bringing in every single day, not even being able to pay your people is a huge problem. And before you know it, what's going to lead, or what it's going to lead to, is a bunch of liens, a bunch of things being shut down, a bunch of accounts being frozen, because this is typically what happens when you have several judgments and several lawsuits and you're not able to keep up financially with these things that are spiraling out of control. So I just wanted to report that here. Again, this is something that was recently posted less than 30 minutes ago by the Houston Chronicle. So it is out there for you to go and research yourself. And to those alleged employees who were allegedly fired via email, I hope you land on your feet. I hope you're able to get your money some kind of way, but this just does not look good, and I'm really hoping that it turns around really soon.
All right, so you guys just saw all of that, and what a shame for Nakia, her family, especially her kid, and the employees that haven't been paid, right? And this is a prime example of how one ninja can solely destroy a business, can solely destroy a family, because all the red flags were there. He was a felon, right? And I understand giving people a second chance. People can rectify themselves, because people can do a total 360 and become an upstanding individual. But I feel in this case that she played her part in making her own bed, and now she has to lie in it respectfully, right? But anyway, guys, I want to hear from you all. I want you to drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about this whole entire messy situation. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.